What's good, Fraanse Fam? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the new Space Jam movie, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, I am not really somebody that watches movies, but when a good movie comes out, I have to see it. So this was one of those movies. I waited a long time. I saw a lot of scuttlebutt about it, and I'm finally glad it's here. I was able to watch it tonight, and I can't wait to review the movie for you guys. So stay tuned.
Some of the girls feel like automatically I have an advantage over them because I'm awesome and, you know, I totally have it going on.
So first things first, this movie taught me that you can't listen to other people. You have to check out movies on your own, and you can't allow other people to dictate how you're gonna feel about a movie. Because I saw a lot of reviews of people saying, oh, it's whack, it ain't the same movie. I don't feel like you could go into this movie expecting it to be Space Jam 1. Space Jam 1 is a total classic. Like, you can't expect a movie that came out decades later to be exactly what we had in our childhood. Michael Jordan is not LeBron James. LeBron James is not Michael Jordan. So you can't go into it expecting it to be just like the first one. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not even fair to the creators or anybody going into it. Because if you're thinking like that, you're gonna be disappointed. Please believe it. So first, I want to start off with the merch for the movie. So there's a lot of merch at places like Route 21, Fashion Nova. A lot of different places have merch right now. And I actually purchased the jacket I have on, which is a members only windbreaker. And I got this from Fashion Nova. This is in a size large. And I love the jacket. I literally just got back from the movies, you guys. And I could not wait to tell you guys what I thought about this movie. And like I said, I love this jacket. Even the back of it is really nice, and I just had to get it. Like, when movies like this come out, I knew I was gonna get it. Because when I was young, in the very first Space Jam came out, I was so young. Like, my mom was going to tell me to get out her face. Like, my mom was not buying merch for me back, so wasn't happening, not happening. So I did buy this windbreaker, and I bought another shirt, which is like a local team shirt. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to tell you guys, the merch, I'm very, very pleased with the merch because it could have been a mess. It really could have. So let's get into the movie, y'all, because I can't wait. I can't wait to tell y'all how I feel about this movie. Okay, so with that being said, once we got it out of the way, what I really liked about the movie was the backstory. I loved how they brought the new age, because it's supposed to be the new legacy. So I love how they pretty much modernized Space Jam and kind of brought it to what the world is now. So like the new Game Boys, video games, the way tech is, how big tech is a big thing right now. To incorporate all of those things that are modern and popping right now, to me was very smart. And to me was a lot of bit, I don't think that's the word, but it was more so relatable to me to this generation. So I don't believe that they were catering to us anyway. Like, we were not, a lot of us are 90s babies that were hyped off of Space Jam 1, but we can't go into it expecting them to cater to us. We're not kids anymore. They're catering to the new generation. So I had saw a recent post where a guy had tweeted, I think he tweeted or something, somewhere on social media, he posted about how people are going into this thinking that it's about us. It's about the new generation. It's about the new kids. They're not catering to us late 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who are going into this expecting to see, like, Michael Jordan reincarnated or into a movie in his younger days. Like, it's not that. You can't go into, you have to understand that these are two different movies. That's why it's called The New Legacy. Now, what I really appreciate about the movie, like I said, was the storyline. I love how they incorporated family. I think the entire movie was black excellence. I love how they portray black people in the movie. I love how they portrayed family. They pretty much gave us what his life is like with him having a wife, him having 2 boys, him having a girl. To me, was down to the T of his day to day, and a representation of family and how important family is to him. And I love how they incorporated the importance of being true to yourself. Like, one of the big things I took from the movie was when the Toons were playing the new team, they weren't winning because they were trying to be somebody else. And once LeBron had to talk with them about being themselves, they were able to come out and kill it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I took that away from the movie, because as long as you're continuously being somebody else, you're going to lose every time. But as long as you stay true to yourself and be real to who you are, you'll win every time. So that was something I took from the movie. As far as the characters, to me, they were all the same. I know there was scuttlebutt about how different the characters looked, but to me, I don't feel like the Looney Tunes missed a beat. I know there was scuttlebutt about how different the characters looked, but when you see the movie, you'll understand why they look a little bit different, because they were they were more like life-size, like a live remake of the characters. Like, they became human beings, if that makes sense. So they actually had fur and all this different stuff. So that's why they look a little bit different. But they were still the same, still whatever characters you remember them to be, they were still the same type of voices. To me, they didn't miss a beat. With Zendaya playing Lola, I didn't feel no type of difference in how Lola sounded. To me, it was all the same. Now, what I really liked about the movie as well was that all the characters were busy in other movies, if that makes sense. So Bugs Bunny was the only one that was in Toonville. So when LeBron got casted away by LG Rhythm. So the guy LG Rhythm is the guy that's like tracking LeBron down, trying to get him to be a part of this basketball game so he can pretty much reign and get his recognition that he wants. But his name is LG Rhythm, kind of like algorithm. So he's like obsessed with LeBron, but he come across as a hater and like gets in his LeBron son's head. And like, you gotta see the movie. I really don't want to tell y'all too much. I really don't want to ruin the movie for y'all. I more so want to tell y'all how I felt about it. But I love the portrayal of family. The basketball game itself, to me, was lit. Like, it was very suspenseful. You never know who was gonna win the game while you were watching it. I think the new addition of the characters were very, very interesting, which was the Goon Squad versus the Toon Squad. And so in the Goon Squad, you had Anthony Davis and all these other prominent basketball players. And the way that they created these new players was very cool to me. I loved the women empowerment. I loved how they brought in female basketball players too. Kobe would have loved that, because you know he was big on female sports and especially female basketball in the WNBA. So I'm glad they brought those women in to play a role as well. I feel like everybody was pretty much included. The only thing to me that was missing was, I wish Michael Jordan would have made an appearance, because to me that would have gave us 90 Babies that would have gave us like a we see you moment. They kind of had a moment in the movie where it made it seem like he was gonna come out, but it was actually Michael B. Jordan, and it was kind of a funny moment. But I really wanted to see Michael Jordan come out and like salute LeBron, but I didn't get that moment. So I guess Jordan was more so like, let him have his shine. Like, I did my movie, you know, it's his time now. I'm passing the torch. So I can respect that. I also love how they made mention of the first one, so you kind of got that glory from it, or that recognition from it, like we see you moment. Like one of the parts when Lola was like, I've played with a basketball player before, or a NBA star, been there, done that. I'm through with that. Or when they, like I said, when they had the moment with when they said they were bringing out Michael Jordan. And so they threw like different shades to the first movie, but it was like clean shade. It was like, oh, that sounds familiar. I played with a basketball player before back in my day. Like stuff like that, which I thought was interesting, how they just, you know, kind of made sure they recognized the first movie. Because, you know, we would have cut up if they didn't recognize the first movie, because we got to be heard, y'all. I love how LeBron made this new Space Jam his own. He didn't try to really do what Michael did. He tried to do his own thing. As far as the acting, LeBron isn't an actor, so don't go in it thinking like, you know, he's just this great actor, because it's something he's never done before. And I think he did okay. You know what I'm saying? He got to portray himself. He got to play himself. And so I think he did the best that he could in his acting role, to say he never acted before. And I think that also people are gonna just dislike the movie just because some people just don't like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't like, they're just the toughest critics out here. And so I think that even if Jordan was to come do the movie himself, people would still have negative things to say. So it is what it is. I feel like you should go see the movie for yourself and see how you feel about it, because you can't listen to people out here. Because if I was listening to people out here, I would have missed out on a good movie. They did throw shade in the movie a few times about how he jumped to different careers. Not different careers, different teams, and how he's not that great, or it's arguable that he's a great player. And just like, you know, they kind of threw shade. And I'm sure LeBron wanted them to say stuff like that to make it funny and to just, you know, not take himself so seriously. To me, the movie exceeded my expectations because I went into it thinking like, I don't know what they gonna do with this, you know what I'm saying? But I was really pleased. The storyline was great, how they modernized it for the new generation. And don't go into it thinking, like I said, don't go into it thinking that it's gonna be the old Space Jam, because it's not. So much time has went by, and even if they wanted to be the same, it wouldn't even make sense to the new generation, because they weren't on what we was on at that time. You know what I'm saying? That was on VHS. Let it go. Another thing I liked was the beginning of the movie, how pretty much they gave you the backstory on why him and his son were playing this basketball game, and you got to understand why his son was frustrated with his dad as far as playing basketball, and how he didn't want to play basketball. He wanted to create games and stuff like that, which is a lot of teens nowadays. A lot of teens are into tech. They want to play video games. So to me it was a very modern Space Jam. They also, so right before those parts as well with him and his son, they also did a montage of LeBron's career, and you get to see how much he's gone through, how much he's accomplished as well. And I think that honestly people need to give LeBron his credit. You know, this man is out here creating schools, and you know, he's doing it right. I think he's a great representation for the black community, and I don't have a problem with him. Now so if I'm not mistaken, Space Jam is #1 right now. Let's get the accurate numbers. So it says Space Jam, A New Legacy steals ball away from Black Widow with 32 million. And this is just the first weekend, you guys. So they are killing it. And I just wanted to support. It was lit. It was definitely lit. I would see it again. Definitely. So it's #1 right now in the box office, you guys. It's pretty much killing it. And I couldn't be more proud. You know what I'm saying? This movie was well overdue. Some people said they should have left it alone, but it's not about us no more, guys. It's about the new generation. Let them have their moment. Let them have their stuff. Let them have their time. We can go watch old stuff if we want, but it's their time to shine now. If I had to say one bad thing about the movie, I just wish that they would have brought Michael Jordan out. You know, I really thought they were bringing him out in that one part of the movie, and it would have been nice. I was like, woo, yeah. But they didn't. Like I said, Michael probably was like, let him have his time, let him have his shine. So I respect that. If I had to say like what one part I didn't like about the movie, I would say it got a little bit dull around the time where LeBron changed into a cartoon and he first got into Toonland or Toon World, and he was playing around with Bugs Bunny and they were trying to figure things out or whatever. That part was a little bit boring, but it kind of kicked up when they started going out finding the different Looney Tunes and going out and taking them from different movies and stuff like that. That's when it got lit. But overall, love the movie. Would definitely see it again. I think you all should go see it. It was cool. So like, just to wrap it up, I love the storyline. I love how the movie and the purpose of the game was to bring him and his son closer together, and how he was able to see the world through his son's eyes and really understand and appreciate the craft that his son has and things that his son was interested in, instead of pushing basketball on him. I love the graphics. The graphics were amazing. I'm such a graphic person, so to sit there and see what other creatives have created, and just the action of the movie, the bringing in the characters, the Looney Tunes, I think it was beautiful. The colors, it was very clear, concise storyline. I think LeBron did the best that he could, and I think everything was great. You know, I think it was funny. I think it was family oriented, and I think that I would definitely watch it again. You know what I'm saying? I had no really complaints about the movie. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button at the top. Also, too, don't forget to hit that notification bell at the bottom of this video, so every time I post a video, you will be the first to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out Space Jam, and if you have already, please let me know in the comment section of what you think about the movie, your favorite part, things that you didn't like, and I'll see you guys in the chat section below. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of this video. I have so much more in store for you guys. Make sure to click here or here for the next video, and make sure to subscribe so that you're always in the loop of the next video.